And okay, here comes our next presenter.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, can you turn on your camera?
Yeah, just give me like 10 seconds.
You can have 8.5 seconds. Oh, great. And is there somebody else going to be with you?
No, the other person that was supposed to come with me was not able to make it,
Well, but
unfortunately.
we have you, and you are all that we need. So, Lord Christus, you are in charge.
Okay, let me just.
You're muted, Lord Christus.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Wonderful. Good evening from Ghana. So I
Good
am Lord
evening.
Christus. Yes, I am a maintenance engineer working with a mining company here. Can you introduce
Mhm.
yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Tulika. I'm currently a high school student in New Jersey. I'm in 11th grade.
That's so amazing. 11th grade. I was in 11th grade when I joined Gift. Wonderful. So the platform is yours. Please take over.
Okay, yeah, let me just share my screen. Okay, so we can get started. So today I will be talking about Code for Change. Yeah, I'll move on and then I will give you some context. So first, a bit of an introduction about myself. So Code for Change is a nonprofit that I built when I was in 10th grade, and it pretty much started with the goal of giving students the opportunity to build with computer science. So my specific goal behind building this organization was giving students the opportunity to have the resources and support to learn from their peers and learn technology and then kind of build with that. That's kind of where this principle and this idea came from. And essentially, the goal of this nonprofit is to offer student-led peer-to-peer mentorship. And yeah, that's pretty much what we do in terms of our actual, like, what we offer. We offer different computer science related courses. So, a little bit more context first about why I started this aside from that. So, currently I'm in 11th grade. So, I'm almost done with high school. But when I was in middle school, I lacked a lot of experience, like, not experience, sorry, opportunities with CS and just learning opportunities with that field. And as a field that I've been exposed to from a very young age, because both my parents both have work jobs in that field, I've always been surrounded with like computer science and technology. So, it's always been something that I was open to explore. But like I said, when I was in middle school, I often lacked the resources to do so. And that's kind of where my inspiration with starting this organization came from because I wanted to offer other students the opportunities that I wasn't able to have. So that is pretty much where it works. And another important thing that sets us apart is instead of offering like paid education, we offer fully free education, and our instructors are also high school volunteers. So that like shows that although like our participants are students, our instructors are also students, so it's a fully student involved organization. And this offers you both the opportunity to learn or to get like a volunteer internship type of experience as an instructor. So, a little bit more into why this organization exists. So, obviously, aside from my backstory, it's also been pretty prevalent that a lot of students do not have access to AI, computer science, data literacy, and etc., just computer science education in general. And along with this, as obviously society and technology evolves, we might notice a lot more people are heavily reliant on technology in today's time, especially artificial intelligence or AI. And so, a lot of people use this, right? But they don't really know how it works or how to build it. And especially as younger generations become more involved and engaged with different types of technology, it's very important to know what exactly they're using without, and not just obviously operate it without knowing exactly how it works. And then lastly, jumping back to the first point with inequality, a lot of students don't have access to this education because a lot of times these programs are either not available or they're too expensive, which for me, it was the first one. I couldn't find any in my area. So I feel like that is also another important reason why this access gap exists in the first place. And that is exactly what Code for Change aims to do. As you can see on the right side, our mission is essentially to empower the next generation of learners through accessible and free computer science education in different subsets like AI, data science, just programming in general, cybersecurity, and more. So yeah, and then at the bottom we have our slogan, which is Code for Change and STEM for Tomorrow. So this is a little bit of proof about what our stats are so far. One other thing is we are an officially registered 501c3 nonprofit and we have been approved. So these are some stats so far. We've engaged over 150 students in two cohorts of one course and then one cohort of another course. We've completed two cohorts of our Python course. We have over 10 plus members on our board plus our volunteers, and our courses are fully free and online. This is a little bit more about the different courses that we have. So we have Code4Change, which is a Python course, and currently, like I said, we've completed two cohorts. We are going to be starting our third one soon in the summer. And essentially here, students learn different Python programming and then build their own projects. Second, we have Data4Change. Obviously, it's a little easy to assume from the name, but this is a data science related course. And here, students learn how to handle, clean, visualize, and then portray data. So this is data analysis. And in every one of our courses, another thing that sets us apart is students create a project at the very end of the course. So that's another thing. Along with this, some upcoming courses, we have our Gen AI for Change, which is about artificial intelligence. This one is also set to start in the summer, and the knowledge cafes, which are just going to be they're going to be individual sessions, not like a long-term 10-week course. It's just going to be like one like sessions on different topics like vibe coding or any other technical concepts. By the way, I did notice some messages in the chat, so what I'll do is read those later in case anyone is sending anything. I haven't gotten a chance to read them yet. But anyway, if you go to the bottom, you can see these are some reviews from students that participated in our courses. So on the left is one from our data science course, and on the right is one from our Python course. Our target demographic is generally students grades 6 to 12. I know we've mentioned K to 12 on the previous slide. Obviously, there are students that are younger than grade 6 and do generally join, but generally our most common like populated demographic is usually middle school for easier, well, not easier, but like more intermediate level courses like Python, and then high school students for more advanced courses like data analysis, because that requires the like foundation in Python in the first place. But yeah, to continue on. So what is something that sets us apart from other organizations? So first, we are 100% instructor-led. So obviously, we do know that a lot of organizations do have this, but this paired with the fact that our organization and all the services we offer are fully free is one thing that definitely sets us apart, because we offer weekly sessions along with office hours every week as well to support students in doing homework exercises and their learning outside of the sessions. And this is all totally free. We do this for every course that we have, and this offers consistent guidance and support to students. Along with this, another unique aspect of our instructors, as I mentioned earlier, is that they are also high school students themselves. So obviously, although they are giving knowledge to other students at the same time, they are also learning themselves how to teach others, how to lead a team, work. So that is also other experience that they're gaining, which is very valuable. So through this organization, we obviously offer roles for students. We also offer volunteer intern opportunities as instructors. So obviously, along with spreading education, our goal is also to open opportunities for students to get involved in these fields. So if you're already experienced in computer science and you want to gain involvement in the field, this is a great way to do so. As being an instructor, obviously learn how to communicate ideas, support other students, which is also very helpful when you go into the workforce. Another important aspect is community driven. So as I mentioned, our organization is heavily based around volunteers. We do not have any employees that we pay. So since we have this volunteer based organization, one, this obviously removes cost barriers that you might experience in a paid organization, but more than that, it helps you build connections. Obviously, as volunteers come in, they teach our courses. We do bring in guest speakers at times, so these volunteers get the chance to connect with guest speakers along with students. Volunteers can also connect with each other. They can connect with the board, and obviously, as some of the board members are a bit like older or more involved in computer science, volunteers obviously have the capacity to learn from the board. They even have the capacity to obviously move up the chain per se. Essentially, if a volunteer starts as a TA in a course, the next cohort of the course, they have the opportunity to move up as an instructor. So they also have development opportunities. Third is project-based. So obviously, students learn throughout the course, but at the very end of the course, students actually create a project of their own. Along with this, obviously, we do offer homework assignments, but this aspect of creating a project and then presenting it to a team is also another important part. And then lastly, workforce aligned. As I mentioned, since computer science and different technologies are becoming so prevalent, by teaching all of them, we are going to be more aligned with what we see in the future in the workforce in many fields. So this is our vision for scaling. Right now, as I mentioned, we have over 150 plus students, and my goal is that by the end of 2026, we want to expand to over 500 students. That is obviously the goal. We want to expand our reach as much as possible. In order to do so, one thing we have done recently is expanded access for self-paced learners. Since most of our courses are based in US time at the moment, we do offer students from international countries to still join our courses. We record all of our courses so these students can watch these recordings and then follow along on their own. And then for the the actual showcase, we host a separate one in their time zone, which is usually either morning in the USA when it's night or evening on their end, so they can also participate and show their ideas. Along with that, like I mentioned, we've also launched office hours, which obviously helps students even more. So this is a little bit more about my ask and what support we could use. So first is awareness. Obviously, as an organization that is still expanding, awareness is very helpful to us to reach more students, more volunteers, just everyone in general. It definitely helps us get the word out and reach more people. Second is guidance. Obviously, like I mentioned, I'm still a junior in high school, so I am obviously working through this nonprofit experience. It is definitely something that I think I'm more than happy to take advice or criticism or just any support of any in general. So if you see the website and you think like, oh, this is something you could do better on, or maybe this is something that I have as advice for you, I'm always open to any support at all because obviously I'm still learning, so I do appreciate any assistance. And then lastly is support. Since we are not a non-for-profit organization. We obviously do not earn any income from any of our courses. So at the moment, we do have some operational costs, not a lot, but some do still exist. For example, for our courses, we do pay for Zoom Premium. That is currently an operational cost that our organization has every month, which obviously, since we are not a for-profit, we don't have stable income. So that is something that I have been paying out of pocket so far. So obviously looking for either any support from anyone or any advice on how to gain financial support or monetary support, which would be very helpful. So yeah. And then yeah, that's all I have. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Wow, that was
That's
that was very impressive.
Thank you.
Lord Christus, do you have a question? Because I certainly do.
Yes, I think this is a very impressive work, and I think I'm very excited because I'm also a computer science student. I think Jake knows
Okay.
about that. Yeah, so I think this is really interesting. So
Mhm.
I want you to flip to your most recent slide,
Mhm.
how you can help. Yes. So number one, awareness. So how do you think, I'm in Ghana, how do you think I can help you create awareness here in Ghana? I'm sure
Mhm.
you would be interested in expanding to African countries.
Yeah, of course. My goal is to expand to obviously as many countries as possible. So I would say for Ghana specifically, or in general, this is applicable to any international country. First is obviously seeing if you can expand maybe communications or just outreach about this organization to any either local organizations that are involved with students in grades K to 12 or even to schools in the area. Because obviously, as more students are made aware of this, they are going to get that opportunity to sign up. So either sending it out to schools who can pass it on to students or offering it to sending it to other maybe teen-led or adult-led organizations that support teenagers in Ghana that could distribute this to teenagers that might use this help. And then obviously other than that, if you like you mentioned you are a university student, so if there are any connections that you have university-wise or just in general in the field of technology, sending those out as well because obviously people in the industry can also offer that support in terms of getting the word out.
Okay, that's really interesting, and that'll be very fine. Okay, and so we will see how best we can work around that. All right,
Mhm.
that's very interesting, and I'm sure many students in Ghana should love this. So we will keep in touch, and we will see how best we can help you. All right,
Okay, thank
that's
you
a
so
good
much.
presentation. Keep it up.
Great.
Thank you.
Once again, you may not know each other's email, but if you contact Gift, we know everybody's email and we'll just pass along whoever you need to contact.
Okay.
Glad to do that. Great.
Mhm.
Well, thank you very much. That was very, very interesting. Thank you. And
Yep, thank you so much.
thank you. Wonderful.